These are the SOUNDPEATS Air6 HS earbuds, and they feature LDAC. Now this gives you better Bluetooth connections, it gives you high-res audio, more stable Bluetooth connections. It's got some good features in these earbuds, and these are quite inexpensive compared to its competition. But are they any good? Are the claims any good? So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to test all the cables that come with this. I'm also going to run it through the frequency spectrum analyzer, and we're going to check out to see if there's frequency hopping or anything unusual. Do they actually do what they're supposed to do? So if you're curious about that, well, keep watching, because you're watching Blue Collar Guy. We're back. So today I have the SOUNDPEATS earbuds, and they have right in the corner here that LDAC technology, and we're going to check that out to see if it's just hype. Is it something that is valuable? I'm also going to check out the phone app, because I have other SOUNDPEATS earbuds and I know they use an app, so we're going to see what features you get on these. Now, the one thing that I'm going to have to do that's going to be a little challenging for me is that I use hearing aids. Now, SOUNDPEATS has sent me different types of earbuds, but they usually go over top of my hearing aids, and I'm curious to know, are these going to be loud enough that I can hear them even when I take out my hearing aids? I might just do one at a time and check them out that way. So if you're an older person and you kind of wanted to know that information, this may come in handy. But before we do that, I have to give you full disclosure. I did receive these from SOUNDPEATS for the purposes of review and testing only. Now, I always send out an ethical statement stating that I don't do sponsored videos and that I also don't use paid affiliate links. So I will provide links for you to buy these, but I don't get a commission if you buy them. That way I can remain as neutral as possible. Now, if you're new to Blue Collar Guy, I also want to let you know that I don't do Patreon, I also don't beg for money, and I also don't ask for any kind of funding from you of any kind. In other words, there's no membership fees. So if you subscribe to my channel and you're worried that, well, if I want to see this video or that video, he's going to ask me for $5.99 a month, that will never happen on my channel. If you subscribe, everything that I show you will be 100% free. I also have another platform in which I show other videos, and that is also 100% free. So if you ever see any links to that channel, I'm just letting you know now, that will also be free as well. So now that I've got all of that out of the way, what do you say we take this out of the box and see what you get in the box? Okay, so these are the SOUNDPEATS high-res LDAC earbuds. Now I've got to take off the cellophane because it's causing some glare. Then we're going to take a little bit closer look at the box. Okay. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. All right. So on this side we have high-res audio, wireless, that's because they're Bluetooth. On the bottom there is a serial number, and I always cover that up. And on this side we have SOUNDPEATS. They have 13mm drivers, so I feel that that's relevant. There are 45 hours of playtime, which is also relevant. They have dual mic for clear telephone calls, which is also important because a lot of people will have their earbuds in when they get a phone call. On the back, we also have, this is what the case, it comes in 2 different colors. I don't know which ones these ones are, but we're going to find out. And we also see that they're made in China. There's the address. It's in Shenzhen, China, which is where a lot of factories are. Here is the email address. Just going to see if I can focus that a little bit better for you. Maybe I can get that a little bit more clear. And here is the version 6.0 Bluetooth, which is one of the latest versions of Bluetooth. The frequency range is 20 to 40 kilohertz, which is usually that's kind of unusual because usually it's 20 to 20. So maybe they're trying to recover some harmonics in there. 30 feet working range, that's typical for Bluetooth. Playtime around 9 hours. And up to 45 hours with the charging case. Okay, so that's one thing that this said, combination of everything, and this is what the earbuds have. So let's get these out of the box. All right, here we go. And the case is very similar to one of their other cases, of their other style of earbuds. I'm just going to take this off. I would imagine we've got cables on this side here. Yeah, there we go. Cable. There's your cable. And I'm going to check this cable too. So before we do anything with the earbuds, let's bring out my first tester. So I just got this tester. It's actually pretty cool. Turn it on. It runs on a battery. It's upside down. And you can also plug it into USB-C. So what this cable tester does is it tells me what type of cable that they're supplying. So are they supplying a data cable or just a charging cable? And by the looks of it, it looks like it's just a charging cable, but we're going to confirm that. I'm going to plug one side in there and one side in there. And then I'm going to hit this. There is the pins that are active. It's open and open. It's 268 milliohms, which means it doesn't have a lot of resistance, which is good. And okay, now it's just for power. Okay, now that's important. Now I'm just going to go back to me for a second. So whenever you get a cable like this and it's just for power, you need to know that, because a lot of people will take their cables and they'll use them thinking that, well, I can transfer data with this cable, I can do all kinds of things with this cable, it's not just for power. But a lot of cables are purpose made, and this one is just to charge. Now, you can use these cables to charge your phone as well, and I'm going to give you a good example why a power-only cable is kind of cool to have, and usually it involves you going to a foreign country, you're staying in a hotel, and they're offering some kind of a phone charging service. And you don't know if what you're plugging your phone into has data communication. In other words, do I want my phone to get hacked because I connected it to a data transmission line and inadvertently gave it permission to get into my phone? So if you were to connect your phone to your computer, it will recognize your phone as a data device, and then you can actually access that data from your computer. So having a power-only cable limits what is transmitted to the phone. In other words, if I was to hook this up to my phone, I know that my phone is going to get charged, and that is it. Keep in mind, these cables are kind of nice for that purpose. They can offer you an extra layer of security. So now that I got that long-winded explanation about cables out of the way, well, let's go back to these. Okay, so I'm going to open this up now. It's got USB-C charging. This is a pairing button in case you want to do what they call forced pairing. Now, they always come with this little blue tape on them, and that's just so that they don't get charged while they're in transit. So I'll just take that off, and I'm going to take this one off. It just comes off really easy, you know, just pull it off. There we go. And then I'll close that, and you're going to see a light come on. That means that the case is now charging them, but they should have some charge to them. So I'm going to get my phone and then we're going to connect it to these and see what you can do with the app. I just want to let you know I get an instruction manual. It's on the opposite side of the lid. It's in this side. And this is what it looks like. So we should have, oh, there's your, there should be some app connections in there. The color on the instructions is not correct. So it's green, yellow, and red. Red is bad, yellow is letting you know it's starting to lose charge, and green is good. You can also get the app on the Google Play Store, or if you have an iPhone, the Apple Store. And it has custom EQ, immersive white noise space for sleeping. You can reset for customized controls, and it's got updates. So that's what that is. Okay, so this is the SOUNDPEATS app. And you'll recognize it on the Google Play Store because it will have this logo right here in blue. And we're going to just go to the user agreement. Okay, swipe up. English voice. You can change the voice to different languages. Firmware upgrade. That's actually a nice feature to be able to do firmware upgrades with the app, because before I used to have to connect it to a computer and that was a lot more of a pain to do it that way. So I appreciate the fact that we can now do it through an app. It was always one of my recommendations from a long time ago. So you can reset it, adjust EQ to preferences. So you can create your own custom EQ and customize controls. Okay. And you've got 30-day no hassle return, and you've also got 12 months quality guarantee. And considering that they're a budget earbud, I actually really like that. And there is their login. Now I do have a login already, so I'm just going to go off camera here. Okay, and there we go. So now they're connected. Now I'm going to update. So please ensure your battery life is sufficient. Don't play music during the upgrade. And we're going to upgrade. Do I need to keep them in the charger? Imagine I got to put them in the charger. Okay. There we go. Keep the lid open. Start upgrade. And we are done. There you go. Device restarting. Okay, maybe I have to hit that. Update successful. Okay, so this is the features on it, which is kind of nice. These apps have really gotten polished, I gotta tell you. There's your battery life. Also got gesture controls. So single tap, volume down, double tap, play pause, triple tap, voice assistant. So if you have like Gemini or something like that, you can do that. Long press, previous track or next track. So next track, you can set your parameters. So you can actually configure this if you want. So volume down, left, volume right. So one earbud will do the volume down, one will do volume up. So play pause, right, play pause, left, double tap. Triple tap, voice assistant, voice assistant. Long press, previous track, next track. So left earbud, previous track, right earbud, next track. Pretty simple. Volume up, volume down. Okay, and you can reset that. Now, we've also got an equalizer. So you've got adaptive EQ, and I've gone through this procedure before, and you put the earbuds in and then it sets it up according to your hearing. Now I am just going to go back to me real quick. Put me in the corner first. Okay, so I am hearing impaired. I wear hearing aids, and I am curious to know if these are going to be loud enough for me to register. I am not a good representative of, you know, what type of sound quality come out of these because of this hearing impairment. That's why I usually test their other type of earbuds, like their clips. They have the kind that work in conjunction with my hearing aids. I also use these type of headphones here, which go over my ears. So these actually go in my ears, and this is going to be a big test. So if you're an older person and you're curious, well, can you still hear this if you've got a little bit of hearing loss? In my case, it's more than a little bit, but we're going to find out if I can hear them at all. So, but I'm not going to be a good judge of sound quality. I do know how I like my EQ though. So I'm just going to go back to me and go to custom effect, and I can actually add my own. So you look, I've got my own little EQ here, so I will put up the bass up there. We're going to add a little bit of mids. I'm going to try and gauge things according to my ears, and we're going to go, we'll configure it about like there. And if I want to save that, I just go check mark, and then it saves the pattern, and then it puts it down here, see? So I can refer to it. So I can add different patterns. So if I want to change it, let's say I want to put this one down here. If I want to edit this and then call it something else, because this is called equalizer A1. So if I want to add a different one and put this one down there, say I wanted to have something a little more flat, and then I can add that one. I just have to hit whoops, and then I've got, oh, I added a flat one by accident. So here, let me just see if I can erase that one, or I can edit it or delete it. There we go, delete it. So now I'm going to just change this one and add a new one. Okay. And you just touch the screen, and you can add whatever you want. Yeah, try that one. And then you hit the check mark. Yes, it's good. And then it puts the pattern over here. So you can add a few of them. So if you got different people using them, and you can delete them, you can edit them. If you want to just edit one, you can even share it. So I can say, hey, I want to share this EQ, confirm, and then I can share it with someone else. No, it said share failed, so, but I could take a screenshot of that with my phone, and then I could share it with a friend through a text message, and they could just match my settings too if I wanted to do that. So, but that's kind of cool. Now, as far as presets go, they've got these ones right here: bass boost, bass reduction, rock and roll, popular. So we'll put them on popular. And it does those as well. So there's many different ways to set up your EQ. So now let's go to the major test. So now I'm going to take out one of my hearing aids. Okay, I take out the other side, just hold it in my hand because I want to make sure I've got one hearing aid on me. And then I'm going to play my Epidemic sound. So I have licenses for certain sound things that I use. The single tap works, volume up, volume down. Play pause works. Okay. Just want to check to see if they'll fall out. Getting dizzy. Bet you didn't want to see that today. Okay. Okay, I can hear myself a little bit better now, and it's weird when I take out my hearing aids entirely. I do like the other style better for my purposes, but they did work and I could hear what they were transmitting. Now, I'm sure you'll hear something a lot louder than I will. It'll probably sound a lot better than it would for me because my ears are damaged, but I was able to use them. So if you do have a hearing impairment, you would be able to hear what's coming out of these. Now, I was also looking at my spectrum analyzer. That's this little guy right here. And I also noticed that they had a fairly stable connection. In other words, it wasn't hopping around a lot while I was checking things out. I had this kind of on my desk and I was checking it out. And it does look like the LDAC is a pretty good Bluetooth connection. So I have a fast charging cable right here, and it is labeled fast charging. And I'm going to plug this in. Now, before I do that, I have another testing device right here. So we're going to connect that. We're going to connect that. And then I'm going to see what they're charging at. So right now, they were almost full. So they're charging at 2.153 watts and about 3 milliamp hours, or 0.0003 milliamp hours, and at 30 degrees Celsius. Okay. And this charger that I'm using here is made by Firmware. Okay, so 30 degrees Celsius. There's the charging rate. There's the voltage, 5 volts. Minimum, maximum. And that's what we got. Just going to get a regular charging cable just to show you what that looks like. This is regular charging right here. And we'll connect that. And yeah, it's the same voltage, same wattage, all that stuff. Just get that back in focus. Focus that. There we go. There we go. So it's got a smart chip in there to let you know. So long story short, they work. And they work pretty good. With a coupon right now in Canadian money, you get them for $44. So you gotta like that. That's a pretty budget price. And I also noticed that I could, if I ordered them, I could get them tomorrow with something that they readily stock on Amazon Canada anyway, which is pretty good. And it says there, they even got recycled materials in them, which is actually good. The one thing that I should let you know is that if you did have them in your ears and you were to brush against this bottom piece, which is, I believe, the antenna and the sensor for all the tapping, you could inadvertently knock them out, but they were comfortable. I don't have anything bad to say about the comfort level. They did not hurt my ears or anything like that, and I do have a lot of experience in wearing devices in my head all day, so you can take my word for it on that. So apparently you can get 3 hours of use from 10 minutes of charge. In other words, you put them back in the case for 10 minutes and you can get 3 hours of use. And that's going to make a lot of difference for people, because it would be pretty inconvenient if you had to put them in there and leave them for an hour. Throw them in the case for 10 minutes, get 3 hours. That's pretty good. That's pretty impressive also for something that only costs $44. So the one thing I always tell people is don't base anything just based on my video alone. I want you to look at other videos on this product and make sure that you're making an informed purchase decision. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed making it. It was quite challenging for me because I was really worried I might not hear anything, because given my level of hearing impairment, I know that you don't know what that is, but for me, I thought, geez, do I have to bring in someone else to test them for me, or will I be able to do it myself? And they do go loud enough for me, which tells me that they should be more than loud enough for most of you. I'd really like to thank SOUNDPEATS for sending out the H6S. Again, I'm very impressed with the quality, the size, you can put this in your pocket, the battery life, the EQ control, the app works with these as well as all the other ones that I use. So it's just a natural fit for me. Now, I probably won't be using these myself, obviously, because I like to use the clip and the breezies for my ears, but I think that I'll have someone special that I'll probably give these to, and they'll be more than happy with these. So if you want to know about the long-term testing on these, just let me know and I'll tell you how they're doing, because I don't let things sit around and collect dust. I will give these to somebody, and I will make sure that it's a friend of mine where I can ask them from time to time, are they still working? Are you still using them? How do you like the phone calls? That kind of thing. So don't forget to leave some comments and check in, even if it's 6 months later, because I do long-term testing. Anytime that I loan something to a friend or give something to a friend, I tell them, you're going to be a long-term tester because I'm giving this to you, and a lot of people are going to want to know about this product, and I have a responsibility to my audience. But I don't like to let things collect dust. I like them to be used. I don't like to have things just sit around and become eco-waste. I like things to actually get some use. So on that note, take care, be safe at work, and I will see you at my next video. Bye.